Oh, hi.
Oh, thanks for the warning.
I thought it was much funner just to not give you a warning.
I'm off like daydreaming somewhere.
Hey, man, it's all good.
I haven't even adjusted my mic yet.
Looked like you were just really thinking hard about, something that's, going to be cool in the future.
I was not. I was thinking about raviolis.
Raviolis?
Yeah.
Like Chef Boyardee?
No, the good ones. Hey, turn my volume up in my headphones a little bit.
Oh, okay.
A little bit. Thank you. There we go.
That better?
That's better. Thank you.
Oh, nice. How you doing this week there, Donald?
I'm doing good, man. How you been?
I'm doing all right. We are on episode 25 here.
Holy crow, 25.
Holy crow is right.
Holy crow.
Holy crow. I like holy crow. That's a new one.
Yeah, that's an awfully big number.
Crow.
Yeah, crow.
Yes. Yes. Look, I actually got the chat function working.
Wow.
Jessica already said hi to us, but that was before I got the chat function
You are
working.
like taking this seriously.
Dude, I'm not joking around.
I guess not. This is all looking pretty high tech.
Hi, Christy. How you doing?
Hi.
Donnie doesn't want to say hi.
I don't know where to look. I don't know what to. This is.
Yeah, that one's you. This one's me.
Gotcha.
I'm a little out of focus. I'm still figuring out how to make some of this look
from
beautiful.
This angle, that's just how you look.
Yeah, I'm just out of focus, just in life in general. Yeah,
so, did you wake up and see the sunrise this morning?
Nope.
A big old red sunrise?
Did it look like it did when we were up in Canada the first year?
No, it looks redder. I don't know what it is, man. It looks like it's very red outside. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, apparently that is same kind of thing as far as what we were dealing with in Canada with the fires.
Yeah, where's that fire at in California?
Like California is like all on fire.
Wow.
Like a ridiculous amount of fire is
Somebody
happening.
sent me a picture of an app that like tracks all the fires across the country.
Oh, it's all like a whole country's on fire.
Yeah, like the whole West is just on fire.
Yeah, it's like
everything back east is frozen right now and
right?
we're all on fire.
Yeah, no, I was talking to some friends up in Minnesota and they were telling me that it's like 50 degrees.
Yeah, well, Ryan Martin was posting some pictures because he's up in his beautiful part of the country right now, and they got snow this morning.
He's not in Montana. Where is he?
Wyoming.
Is it Wyoming?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, they got snow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
snow.
That's kind of happens at night, right?
It was 113 here yesterday.
Right? Remember it was like almost 120 this weekend?
I tell you what, it was nice today. It's freaking hot when 101 feels good.
Right? No, that's the thing, dude. We were talking about that last week. It got down to like 100 degrees. Yep, same thing. And we were just like, OMG.
Yep.
I could run around outside.
Craziness.
Let's see where that big fire in California is. Where is the big fire at? Apparently doesn't want to show me.
You have a lot of computers here.
Yeah, I do that because this one's a little bit harder to just switch between. This one I can just
that's a cool little keypad you got for your iPad.
You like that business?
Can I touch it?
Go for it.
Is it rubbery?
Yeah. How does that make you feel when you touch it?
I don't know. I don't want to say.
Okay. Sierra Town. So they got a 78,000 acre fire. I swear there was like an even bigger one. There's one at Big Sur, 31,000 acres.
You know what I just realized right now?
What?
You sound like Frank Oz.
Frank Oz, huh?
Yeah, you do. You sound like Frank Oz.
Do I now?
Can you do a Kermit voice?
You know what's funny that you say that? And my daughter's not boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
What
was that? What's a not boyfriend?
They think they're not dating, or at least that's what they're trying to have us believe.
Gotcha.
But we don't believe that for a second.
Okay. Do they hold hands?
Yeah.
Yeah, but in a friend way, right?
Mm-hmm, totally.
Gotcha. Yeah, because guys and girls do that, right?
Totes my goats.
Okay, well, we don't have to talk about that. Go ahead.
But yes, what were we talking about?
I don't know.
We went on a tangent. You said Frank Oz and Kermit the Frog voice. Well, he thinks that I sound like Kermit the Frog without even trying.
See, now you know it's true because you got a 2-for-1. Or
is what it is. It could be worse.
It's not a bad thing. I think Frank Oz made a lot of money with his voice.
I feel like Kermit the Frog is pretty awesome. Kermit the Frog here.
Oh my God, it's there. It's right there. Could you do Fozzie?
Oh, waka waka. Did Frank Oz do Fozzie also?
I don't know. I think he did. I think he did most of those
Did
things.
Yoda too.
He did do Yoda.
Oh, you will be.
I was just watching this thing. I was doing one of the... That was creepy.
That's how he did it.
I was doing one of those things where I couldn't sleep, and I was just up watching stupid random YouTube stuff like we all do nowadays.
Yes.
And I was watching this behind the scenes thing with the first Star Wars, when they were or the second Star Wars when they were doing the design on Yoda and stuff. And the guy that came up with Yoda's face, just modeled himself. So I forgot what his name is, but
That's
if you look him
awesome.
up, it's
Was he
Yoda.
really old?
Yeah. He looks like, I mean, except for the big ears, he's Yoda.
Did he have furry ears? Like
Well, they were. I mean, after like 70 years old, I think everybody's ears get
right.
fuzzy.
Well, I'm already like, okay, I've reached 35, almost 36, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have to shave my ear hair now. Like it's happened.
How do you shave your ear hair?
With my clippers, I go.
Oh, like on the inside?
Yeah.
Wow.
Got to do it, man. I mean, you see what I'm working with here on the facial area. Like
I've seen your back too.
Yeah, my back is not a joke. In my ears and my nose. Pretty sure I got it coming like actually out of the corners of my eyes now.
Well, that's Minnesotans right there. You got to stay warm.
You do got to stay warm. There's wind chills that if you're outside for more than 10 minutes that you're just, going to have like appendages fall off.
Mm-hmm.
Can't have that stuff. Doesn't work so well down here when it's 120 out.
No, there's only so many clothes and hairs you can take off.
That's what I always say. Like everybody's like, "Oh man, I hate the cold." I'm just like, man,
I'll take that over any day of the week.
Right?
You can always put more shirts on.
Exactly. Like there's so many clothes you can take off before people start really raising a fuss.
Yeah, for the most part. Actually, Arizona's pretty liberal about nudity, I guess.
Is it?
Well, you ever go to Tempe? Like everybody's naked in Tempe.
Like boobs and sack hanging out?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's Tempe.
I don't think I've seen that. I mean, though I did go and see Tool a few years ago with Primus over at Tempe Beach Park.
Tool and Primus together, I bet that was awesome.
Dude, that was a fantastic show. It was really cool, and it was during Halloween, so everybody was dressed in their Halloween outfits. And you know what that means for the college kids, right?
Yeah,
it's girls that just dress as slutty as possible.
Right, so Mardi Gras beads are out.
Straight up, man. Yeah. Like there was a point where like there was a whole bunch of kids or there were a whole bunch of people that rolled by and they looked like they were wearing police outfits, like it said SWAT and stuff on it, and then they're like running by, and I'm like, what's going on here? And then all of a sudden it's like a bunch of dudes ran by, and then all these chicks ran by, but they were dressed like they were cops, but they were like naughty cops.
Wow, I see. Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, I believe those guys. I don't think I've ever seen chicks that look like this, that are actually working in the force.
Requirements.
Yeah, no, it was, I don't know if that was up to dress code, Tempe Police was out there.
I've seen Police Academy.
That's a good point, yes. That movie did kind of bring it there.
Yeah. Although, what's her name from Police Academy? She dressed scantily.
What, Bobcat Goldthwait?
Yeah, Bobcat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I could do Bobcat also, apparently.
Lordy.
Not just Kermit the Frog, but Bobcat.
Man of many voices. So that's what you're going to be later in your career. Like the third round of your music career is going to be
third round. I'm on round 3. I'm going to start doing voices.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a real thing. Like, people go through normally 3 chapters of whatever their career is. And
3 chapters, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's like
like they did. The first one hits pretty
Empire
hard.
Strikes Back, and
right. Like Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci's a perfect example. Like he quit acting for a long time, and now he's acting again, and making records.
You know what, dude? I was gonna say, did you see he had like a rap record back in the day?
Well, I don't know if it was. I mean, there was a couple rap tunes on there, rap-ish ones, but I don't know. The last one, or was the one before that? Oh, you're talking about the record where he pretended to be the character from, where he was a lawyer, Vince.
Oh, my cousin Vinny.
Yeah. He the whole cover of the album was like that character.
Yeah,
and the whole album was supposed to be like that character, that lawyer, doing songs. It was like a whole character album.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, the one where he straight up was rapping and he was throwing down, dude.
Yeah,
the one I saw. I'm just like, yeah, you got this there.
Well, what's funny about it is, and it's been a long time since I've heard it, but he still sounds like a little guy,
I'll just always remember him from Lethal Weapon 4.
Right, and that's what I think
Lethal
of.
Weapon 3.
Like all of his rap songs are okay.
Yeah, that and Home Alone.
Marv,
the Wet Bandits.
That should have been the name of the album. See, that I would have bought that album if he was that character.
If they called themselves the Wet Bandits in the album, or if that would have just been the name of the album and they called themselves.
I'm gonna need you to look this up because I need to make sure I'm right. So he did an album where he was Vince.
I got to see this. This is kind of shenanigans. Let's see what we got here. All right.
I know I'm right about this.
Joe Pesci.
Because I'm a dork like that.
Oh, gosh. Let's see if I can spell Pesci. It's P-E-S-C-I, right?
P-E-C-or-P-E-S-C-I, yeah.
Okay, Joe Pesci rap. There's a rap album. Let's see what we got here. It's called Wise Guy. That's the rap song. We got okay, then there's one called Vincent LaGuardia Gambini Sings Just For You.
That's the name of the album.
You're not wrong.
Right?
There's totally an album. Came out in 1998. Vincent LaGuardia Gambini. Oh my gosh, I need to listen to this. How have I never heard of this? Wise Guy's on there. Okay, you weren't joking. I got to read some of the names of the songs. So the first song's called Yo Cousin Vinny. The second song is called Wise Guy. So just like, the song that everybody's ever heard from him. Then the next one's called Take Your Love and Shove It. I can only imagine what that's about. I've got news for you. How do you like me so far? And then there's Robbie Hood, 21, Old Man Time. That's Donnie's song. Or Cliff's. I think it's Cliff's Bathroom Time. And then there's one, He'll Have to Go. I wonder if it's the He'll Have to Go that we sing.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I doubt it.
I Can't Give You Anything But Love.
I don't want to hear that one.
Yeah, I was going to say, if there's a weird apostrophe in there. I can't give you anything but love.
But love.
If It Doesn't Snow for Christmas. I don't remember it snowing.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't sound like
movie.
It fits into that repertoire of music. Right?
And then What a Wonderful World. I've been missing some Joe Pesci singing What a Wonderful World.
Have you ever listened to like his jazz, like his big band like jazz stuff?
No, I didn't even know that Vincent LaGuardia Gambini Sings Just For Me was an album.
Okay, and the only reason I know any of this is I love all those mobster movies, right? So I love Joe Pesci, and the dude is a legit guitar player.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I wish we could play it without getting
getting flagged.
Stupid copyright.
Yeah, he's a like a jazz box top kind of making a fool.
That's awesome, man. Yeah,
I think
looking at him, you wouldn't think so.
If I remember right, like he wanted to, like that was his drive in life to be a musician. He didn't
really.
Acting was like a secondary.
And then he just killed it on that.
Yeah,
it's like I'm gonna go do some of the biggest movies ever.
Yep.
Pretty sure he had a part on Titanic too.
He was the iceberg.
He was the short part of the iceberg up top.
The tip of it that hit the boat.
I feel like the way he looks, he should be like a saxophone player.
Yeah.
Like I feel like him and Marv are like
I don't
the
know.
same
I think like it could like naturally sit on the floor and he could just play it like that.
And it's not even a Barry sax. That's funny. That's hilarious. But I'm trying to imagine that right now.
I can't believe that you didn't know this about Joe Pesci.
Dude, I just knew that song Wise Guy. And I had no idea he was doing it in character of Vincent LaGuardia of Gambini.
And I don't know why I know that in particular, but I think I came across that at one point.
It cracks me up that his name is LaGuardia. Like, that's his middle name.
Yeah.
Like, wasn't LaGuardia like a really famous mayor for New York?
No, I think you're thinking of somebody else that I can't remember what their name is.
I think it's LaGuardia because that's what the airport is, right? LaGuardia Airport.
That would make sense, I guess. I'm not a New Yorker. I don't know.
I got to see here. I got to see. Who is it named after? After. Okay. It wanted to suggest it. Oh, man. I do not have enough Italian to be able to pull that first name off here. Fiorello LaGuardia.
That sounded pretty good. We got to do it in Kermit's voice.
But let's see what he is. I can't even do it. Fiorello. Oh, boy. I don't know if I'll be able to do that. Okay, so apparently I was right. He was the 99th mayor of New York, and he served for 3 terms from 1934 to 1945. As a pro-New Deal, liberal, progressive Republican. Wow. That was a lot of...
it's like a hot ice cube.
Right? Exactly, man. What was that? They call that not a palindrome.
Call that a Ferrari with wagon wheels.
Oh, man. It was an oxymoron. That's what I was trying to say. It was like 3 of them in a row right there.
Whenever I hear oxymoron, I think of that cream you used to put on your face when you were a teenager to get the zits off.
Yeah.
Right? It's oxymoron.
It's just called Oxy. OxyClear, I think is what they call it.
OxyClear, that's what it was.
Yep. OxyClear. Now that's not cool enough anymore. You got to do the stuff that Britney Spears and what that fella from Maroon 5 does.
That's the stuff you have to get go to the doctor to get.
Yes.
Get that prescription.
I don't even know if you need a prescription for that. You just need to pay an ungodly amount of money for them to send you this like made in China little spinny brush thing that you can just irritate whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
They call it
I don't know anything about that.
Exfoliating.
Oh.
It's just like
it's where you put the sandpaper in your head.
Right? You're just like I just feel like I'm just scratching my epidermis. Which way? Which one's the top one? Is it dermis or epidermis?
The size of my epidermis.
One of the dermi. I don't know which one it is. I'm assuming a plural of that would be dermi.
That sounds gross.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
So how does this thing work down here? Like, what am I looking at right
Well,
here?
down here where it says YouTube live chat connection established, and then we got a few comments in there. If somebody talks to us, we'll see it on there, and we can say hey to them, or we can respond to them. So if they have something that they want to say that's witty, or we can't think of whatever the heck we're trying to say. Oh, look at that! We got a few people. So I don't know if this is all the way working here. See this chat function? It pisses me off. It works like never.
You're doing way better at this than I ever would. So
I'm gonna see if I can fix this real quick.
Give you that.
Because somebody said Primus, and who was that said Primus? Let's see if we can find it here. That's Nicole Warren. Yes, Nicole. Primus is where it's at. Chris Overly said, "Did you say Utes?"
Utes.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Youths. Then we got W. James Taylor here. You have to throw the W in front of your name there, huh, James, so nobody confuses you for...
James, I have not seen you in like 7 years, man. How you been?
It's been he took his comment off, apparently. Well, it was nice seeing you for a second there, W. James Taylor. Yeah, no, the Utes. No, man, I love My Cousin Vinny. That is like one of my favorite movies. It's like Tombstone, Gladiator, My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah, I don't know about the top 10 for me, but it's up there.
Yeah, you don't give it top 10?
No, I like Castaway. Castaway is probably my top.
Castaway
5.
is, I only was able to watch that one once.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about that movie. I can watch that thing over and over again.
It's like Apollo 13, man. I can't do Apollo 13 too many times.
I can't watch that one over and over. I mean, it's a good story, good movie.
Yeah, well, that. You know what else? Like another one that I was going to say Forrest Gump, but I watched that one a lot now that I think about it.
Yeah, who hasn't watched?
Yeah, at first I was going to say I didn't, but now I absolutely watched Forrest Gump like a ton.
I think in my top 5 movies, I mean, Coal Miner's Daughter is going to be up there.
I've never seen that one. Who is in that one?
Sissy Spacek plays Loretta Lynn, and I can't think of his name now, but he's in The Fugitive, plays the marshal in The Fugitive with Harrison Ford.
Oh, you're talking about Tommy Lee Jones?
Tommy Lee Jones plays Dew, and it's got Levon Helms in it and a bunch of awesome people.
So far, the only one you've said so far that I know is Tommy Lee Jones.
Well, you should know Levon Helms.
Who's Levon Helms? What was he in?
He's the drummer from the band. He's
he was an actor also?
Yeah. Well, I mean, but
these musicians, man.
Yeah,
we get to do everything.
He's part of the group of people that has inspired all of roots music throughout history.
Oh, really? Uh-oh. What's up? Oh, we got John Contreras saying, "What's up, gents?"
John, what's happening, man?
How was butt spelled in the Anything But Love song? Spelling is a big deal in the city. That's the point that I was making when I was saying that. If you have that... Because in the actual, what I was reading on the page there, as it was saying, anything, I'll give you anything but love. but, I don't know if they had the correct, way of writing that sentence in there.
Italian. It's just all done in cursive anyway.
Cursive.
And nobody can read it nowadays, so it works out.
But yes, no, I agree. Oh, see you later there, Nicole. It was nice hanging out with you.
Bye, Nicole.
Yes, and then Chris had Tommy Lee Jones covered here.
See, Chris knows where it's at.
Chris knows where it's at. I don't know where it's at, apparently. I don't know who drummers are.
Well, I never listened to Tool, so I guess we're even.
That's okay. But you like Primus. So that's where we meet.
Yeah, the only reason I ever listened to Primus was after what's his name? Screwball face. What's his name?
Les Claypool?
Les Claypool auditioned for Metallica.
He did. And they said he was too good for them.
Too good.
You're too good for us. Oh, dude, that guy's nuts. It's so funny, too. You, like, watch him live, and it's like he's even bored up there on stage just playing his music. Like, he's just up there. It's just like... And then he'll, like, stomp around on stage for a little bit, then he'll get back and sing.
I think that's the shtick.
It might be. He's just like, man, I just don't even care.
I tried, playing some Primus for Heather about a week ago or so.
Yeah, how'd that go?
She wasn't having any of that.
She wasn't having it?
It's not her deal.
What drummer only has one arm? That drummer is Rick Allen, and he played in...
Def Leppard.
Yeah. I like... You ever listen to that song from the Bloodhound Gang?
Which one? I have no.
There's the one that, like, literally, like, the bridge of the song is just the lead singer just screaming, the drummer from Def Leppard only got one arm. The drummer from Def Leppard only got one arm. The drummer from Def Leppard, like, and he just keeps repeating it. Like, no idea how it led up to that point, but it just needed to be said right there in that bridge of that song.
We're a little different on, like, what our go-to music. So
Bloodhound Gang. You can't go wrong. You can't tell me you didn't like The Roof is on Fire.
Oh, that's them.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The Roof. Yep. The Roof.
That was like
is on fire.
That was like my sophomore year of high school. About
we don't need no water, let the mother burn. It was on the radio. Remember when they would do that?
I remember. Yeah,
getting a laugh my ass out. Oh, here we go. Yep, let's look at that. Shyla knew who it was. Shyla knew the drummer from Def Leppard there.
That's because girl's got a good raisin.
That's right. That's what made me say that. That's funny. You talking about the Bloodhound Gang song, Nicole? If that's the case, then bravo. I got to just say bravo to that. The drummer from the... Dude, that was like... The first time I heard that, I was laughing so hard. And I was in like junior high. I'm like, that's the most messed up thing ever. Like, why would you just be screaming that? That's amazing.
Rubbing it in its face.
Right.
You ever watch that terrible, terrible, terrible VH1 movie about Def Leppard?
Yeah, dude. That's so funny. That's awesome. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I remember that. And like it wasn't they had them all drunk beforehand. It was just like you just see was it a Firebird that he was driving?
It was a Firebird, yeah.
And it's just like and then next thing you see him in the hospital, armless.
Yep.
Well, one armless.
One armless.
How do you say that?
One armless.
Is unoplegic? I don't know how I don't know.
That's terrible.
I have no way of saying that. F yeah is right, Nicole. She knows what's up there. That's fantastic.
I must be really getting old because I can't read any of that.
Oh, look at that. John Contreras said Big Brown Beaver's his jam.
Yeah, man.
You got to love it. I like that. And gosh, what was the other song? Like 11?
I don't know.
That song's sick, just know that Tommy the Cat.
Yeah, I remember that one. I remember the only reason I ever found out who Primus was back in high school, in PE, you got your PE shirt and you had to write your name on it. Well, everybody wrote Mud, because my name is Mud.
That's
I'm like,
funny.
I don't get it.
Why is everybody doing that?
Well, I don't understand.
My name is Mud.
No. Showed me.
Somebody had to show you. They're like, it's a band called Primus. You might have heard of it.
Skip third period, go out to the dugout, smoke a cigarette, and show me some Primus.
On your tape deck, on your Walkman.
On the Walkman.
Yep. Oh, and I got a little square here from Nicole Warren. We got to see what that means.
That means I'm a square, which we all know. L7.
I don't know if that's an otter or a nice curled turd.
I think it's a beaver.
It might be a beaver. That's a better way to go. I think that's better than the swirled turd there.
That would make more sense.
Yeah. Of course, that's how I would see that. Yeah, man. Oh, I love Primus. Like talking about how you got to talk to Jerry Reed's daughter a few weeks ago. Like my first experience with Amos Moses was the Primus version of that.
Yeah, I didn't even know
that song.
I didn't know that existed until after you were talking about it.
Oh, dude, I love it.
Yeah, it was pretty neat.
I love it. I'm like, and then I listened to the Jerry Reed version. I'm like, this one is equally awesome. Like, if not better. Like, I definitely appreciate it.
Better.
I had to say that for you because I didn't want you to have a conniption over there. Yeah. Oh, God. Donnie.
Where's my beating stick?
Right. Donnie's going to have a conniption right on the live stream.
That's what I was looking for earlier was something to, my kit whacking stick.
What was that, Don?
My kit whacking stick. I'm tired. It's been a long day.
Yep. No, I hear you. Kit whacking stick, huh?
Yep, that's right.
You're sticking by that one?
I'm sticking with that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
We're gonna go sticking. You know what that is?
Doesn't sound any better. I don't know what that is. Please explain.
You need to watch King of the Hill, man.
No, I don't watch that. I watched Beavis and Butthead back in the day.
Yeah.
That was that and Office Space. I liked Office Space a lot.
The movie, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I watched that a lot.
So that
Not
was
a lot.
Mike Judge, right?
A couple times in my life.
Mike Judge did.
Yeah, he did that one.
King of the Hill. For some reason, I was not able to get into King of the Hill.
Well, it's not for you.
Okay. Sounds good.
Damn, kids whacking off in my tool shed. Oh.
But that was Beavis and Butthead.
I know, but it's the same character.
Beavis and Butthead Do America, right?
We all know it's the same character.
I go to Vegas for the loose slots.
You know what? See, I know I'm really immature because and my kids are way more mature than I ever was because I tried to show them Beavis and Butthead, recently.
Yeah.
And
How'd that go?
this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, it is.
That was the whole point of it, actually. It needs to be that.
You know what else that I didn't even realize that they didn't understand they didn't know what Ren and Stimpy was.
Apparently they're remaking Ren and Stimpy right now.
How?
I don't know. They're remaking Ren and Stimpy. I heard that also. I don't know how true this is, but this will be the third iteration of them trying to make Beavis and Butthead again, I believe. They're making a Daria offshoot.
Really?
Because Daria was already an offshoot off of Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, but Daria it didn't last. It wasn't even good anyway. How can you do an offshoot of something that was a failure?
See, I watched a little bit of Daria.
Well,
I dug that.
So did Heather and I, but the 3 episodes that they made, and then it was gone.
Apparently they're making an offshoot of that. Apparently MTV's just like, oh gosh, what did we do back then that made us worthy?
I don't understand how they're going to do Ren and Stimpy because the whole media today is and the reason Ren and Stimpy came up recently with my kids and stuff was, they're okay, so my kids watch a bunch of YouTubers, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's a thing now.
You said that so salty
YouTubers.
right there. YouTubers.
Everybody has a show. And they're talking about how Ren and Stimpy and that like-minded kind of thing ruined my generation. The crappiness of my generation is because of cartoons like Ren and Stimpy.
I disagree, man. I loved Ren and Stimpy. Powdered Toast Man, dude.
Powdered Toast Man.
Grab firmly onto my muscular buttocks.
I guess the happy, not the happy Joy episode, but there's an episode that's gone viral or something on the internet, a section of it where Ren is threatening to hurt Stimpy and his friend.
He did that all the time though.
I know, but this one was particularly harsh.
Oh.
And this was so traumatizing for kids. They can't.
Was not. At no point did I get done watching Ren and Stimpy and be like, oh my gosh,
bash somebody's skull in with a
I need to go
baseball
take
bat.
a shower. I feel terrible about myself. No point did that ever happen. Usually, if I had to take a shower, it's because I was crying because I was laughing so hard.
Right.
That show, I loved that show.
So did I. Nickelodeon.
Back when Nick was good.
Nick.
SpongeBob SquarePants, never got into it. You're all about SpongeBob, though, aren't you?
Well, I was. I mean, my kids grew up with all that.
I guess
so
that's a good point.
I've
That's
seen
a good
every
point.
episode a million times.
That's
I don't know
a
if you
very good
consider that
point.
being into it, but
You kind of have to be.
I know them all.
Yeah. I can recite them line by line. I don't know if I love it.
When my kids are passing around references to stuff as a inside joke, I get them. Heather doesn't because they're all SpongeBob, which makes me feel good. Dad's still hip.
Dad's got the SpongeBob references. Apparently that show's still kicking hard.
Yeah, but okay, so it's different writers and stuff now.
That's what I heard.
Yeah,
a whole bunch of the writers went away.
My kids are all grown up now, so they don't watch SpongeBob anymore. But I've seen a couple snippets of the new stuff, and
not for you.
Yeah, I hate it worse than I hated the other stuff. I
mean, I
like the old stuff.
You remember all the inside jokes. That's about how it is with you, Donnie.
Right.
That's the same as it ever was.
Well, it's just that, it was all day, every single day. And I think at one point, Nickelodeon was just the SpongeBob network.
Straight
came
up
out at 7 o'clock in the morning and went off at 10 o'clock at night.
Yep, and then you had Nick at Night, which was the older SpongeBob episodes.
I remember when Nick and Knight was like Mary Tyler Moore.
Dude, I remember that too. I watched that all the
the
time.
Munsters was on there.
Monsters.
Lucille.
Yeah, no, I love that show,
Me
man.
too. I was all about the Munsters and the Addams Family. They played them back to back.
Did they play Addams Family? Because I don't remember the Addams Family. I don't know. I remember a
But
ton of the Munsters.
I remember whenever I faked being sick and got to stay home from school when I was a kid. Okay, which, by the way, I don't know how you faked being sick, but the trick that me and my buddy Chad Borman figured out was if we, downed a bunch of pickle juice, we could make ourselves throw up and then stay home from school.
Giving all the kids some good ideas here.
Yeah, so when we stayed home from school, I know that, like,
Jessica wrote, so now I feel like a terrible parent because both of my kids grew up on Family Guy. Here's the thing. I think some classic Family Guy was freaking hilarious. Some of the new stuff, not so much for me. Maybe that's just me showing my age and, the little bit of peppering I have in my beard. But, dude, no, there was a while there. Like when you had to buy Family Guy on DVD.
I never bought Family
Guy.
Oh,
dude, I was one of those kids that bought it on DVD and brought it back. You know what I'm saying? Because, like,
it makes sense.
They canceled Family Guy. Their DVD sales were ridiculous. And like, okay, maybe we'll just keep this going. Uh-oh, look at that. Need to get some show tune sound effects. Sounds effects. I think you threw an extra S in there, Christy. I think I totally interrupted you with.
I don't even know what I was talking about.
We were talking about the Munsters, dude.
Oh, I just remember the lineup throughout the day from like Price is Right to Munsters to Addams Family.
Dude, okay, so you had that. My staying home playing hooky shows were Price is Right.
Mm-hmm.
People's Court with Judge Wapner.
You watch People's Court?
I did when I was sick, and because I had like three channels. We didn't have cable when I was growing up.
Yeah,
at least at the point that I remember. But yeah, no, I watched the hell out of some Price is Right.
Yeah,
with Bob Barker.
I watched a lot of Price is Right, and we didn't have we had cable like sporadically, like most people back in that generation. Like we were all poor as shit,
right?
So like,
got cable this week.
We get cable whenever they did like a free like trial period or whatever. You get 6 months, you get 2 months for free. We get the 2 months for free, and then we wouldn't have cable again until the next time they ran a thing.
Yeah, no, I think my parents would get it, and then we'd just watch it too much. And then they're also like, we're paying way too much money for them to just be watching this.
Right.
And they could be outside when it's, summertime and not, a torrential blizzard all the time.
I did enjoy some Nickelodeon, though.
I love Nickelodeon, dude. Like Pete and Pete.
Oh, that was
Salute Your Shorts.
And Hey Dude.
Hey Dude. I didn't like Hey Dude. That was filmed in Arizona.
See,
apparently that set's still here.
Yeah, I've heard that, yeah.
I think it's like Casa Grande or something.
Yeah, you're right. It is. That is.
Yeah, and it's just dilapidated, falling apart.
I think somebody recently did one of those archaeological video things where they go to look for old shit and whatever.
And they found it.
Yeah,
and it's all tore up.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool seeing that stuff side by side.
Yeah, I enjoy that stuff.
Oh man, I love
watching
the
Flintstone town that's here in Arizona.
That's right. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Somebody, I got a bunch of friends on Facebook that are car guys and stuff, so they always post pictures of finding cars in barns and stuff. And,
oh, dude, I love watching that too.
Yeah, and then somebody took a picture of one of the Flintstone cars and said barn find of the year.
Somebody found it from the Flintstones movie or something.
What year do you think this is?
That's funny shit right there. I remember the first day of MTV. Really sad. Oh, Chris, it's okay, buddy.
Chris.
Donnie, I could just picture you and Chad in the whole Ferris Bueller's Day Off setting.
Yeah, we had a few of those.
I can see that also.
Chris, I'll give you $5. You tell me the very first video ever played on MTV and don't look it up.
I know what it is.
I'm sure you do.
Oh, Troy. Hi, buddy.
Troy.
This is so funny because I'm able to see a whole bunch of hi Jason Rayner. I'm able to see Fraggle Rock. Somebody threw that out. That's Christy.
Yeah. Chad Borman had HBO every once in a while, so we'd go over to watch Fraggle Rock at his place because I never got it. Chad had one of those little black boxes where you could
yeah,
you could just squeech it in a little bit.
Yeah, squeech what in there, Donnie? There was.
Is that a boob?
That's funny, but if you had the black box, you didn't have to say, "Is that a boob?"
Yeah, but we used it for Fraggle Rock.
Yep, Chris got it. Video killed the radio star.
Good man.
There you go. Did you have to look on YouTube for that, Chris? Or did you actually find it? Or when I say YouTube, did you have to look on Google? YouTube's owned by Google. That's what I meant. But yeah, no, that was totally the first song that was on.
Google just owns everything now. You know what sucks about Google?
The trash heap.
The trash heap.
Yep, I know that.
That thing scared the crap out of me.
Fraggle Rock. Oh, gosh, wasn't there like a dog or something? Or like a monster or something?
Yeah, the trash heap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were always trying to like eat the Fraggles or something.
Yeah, it was.
Then there was like that old guy that had a dog that was a Muppet.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the dog was a Muppet. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
That trash heap always reminded me of Pizza the Hut from
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
That's funny. Lone Star. Chris Overly said, "No, sir, lived it." We've lived the beginning of MTV. So you saw the rise and the fall all within your lifetime.
Yeah, about the first time I saw MTV, they were playing that "We Didn't Start the Fire" song over and over again for like the first year it was out. It was just the Billy Joel channel.
Yep, and then it was David Bowie channel, and it was the Michael Jackson channel.
Dude, that is one guy I could never ever listen to. David Bowie.
Really?
I can't take it.
I love some Bowie songs.
It's too weird for me, man. Like it's all just too weird. Except for that one. Except for that one that had Stevie Ray playing guitar on that he got no credit for, which pisses me off.
Which one was that?
Okay, the video, he's wearing white gloves and he's playing a Strat. Weirdo. David Bowie.
So
but yeah, Stevie Ray Vaughan played all the guitar parts in that song.
I gotta figure out
I mean,
what
you
song
can
this is.
tell it's him, you know, but he got no credit.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
That's probably why I hated David Bowie.
David Bowie.
That and that stupid video where he was with Mick Jagger, and they're like that close to kissing.
Dude, ever watch that though, where they take the music out?
Yes,
and it's just them like singing it, and just like they have like the Foley behind it, and it's the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard.
Shuffling around.
And it's all.
Jeez, that's the crap that ruined my generation.
But then this generation redeemed it by just taking the music out and making it ridiculous. Like that's like because I've watched that whole video and I just laughed my ass off the whole time.
Yeah, Heather and I just watched that. It was pretty funny.
Right? Because they have like the random like background like vocal things that they'll throw in there, just like ow.
They did this one with Elvis. Did you see the one with Elvis?
No.
Where he's like playing the guitar really bad. You got to check that one out. It's awesome.
Dude, speaking of that, have you seen when they like go and like say Courtney Love will piss off the sound guy?
Yes, I've seen those.
And he'll get the video and he'll release the board mix of just her.
Yeah.
The worst thing ever, like playing like the what was that song that they had?
Yeah.
But like it's just her guitar. It's like it's just like oh gosh.
Good girl.
Yeah, don't piss off the sound guy. Dude, just speaking of like people messing up, like that when Mariah Carey did the New Year's a few years ago, and like she said to her in-ear monitors went out.
Yeah.
And like all the music was still playing and she was still doing the dance, but she's just like walking around just like and then like you hear like the high squeal parts that she can't do anymore. It still just like happens, but she's not doing it. But like all the dancers are still dancing like in time. She's still kind of doing the motions. It's just like
musicians,
right? Cheaters. Okay, let's go real deep. The Muppet Show. I don't know if that's deeper than the Fraggle Rock, actually.
Deep. You know, and I have never ever stopped liking the Muppets. Like the new movies and stuff, I think they're fantastic.
I love.
Like how did that not take? Except for that stupid show that they did, the when they tried to bring back the Muppet Show, where they made it like The Office, where it was all like.
I didn't watch that.
Ugh.
I didn't even watch the second. Was that the Muppets Most Wanted or whatever?
Oh, that was good.
I didn't watch that one. I watched the one before that with what's his name?
Am I a Muppet?
Yeah, dude. I laughed so freaking hard at that movie. Am I a man or am I a Muppet? Am I a Muppet? Love that, dude.
That's Heather's favorite song.
Dude, Janelle hates that movie. She
really
hates it. I'm like, how can you hate this movie? She's like, it's just stupid. I'm like,
fantastic.
God, this movie's fantastic. I hope she's watching right now so she can sit here and we can battle this out over, chat.
I would like to see it. I haven't seen a good domestic dispute in a while.
Fozzie Bear. We already talked about Fozzie there,
Fozzie.
Christy. Yeah. Hey, Kermit. Waka waka. Donnie giggle over here.
But
yeah, no, I love the Muppets. And you know what I do miss too about movie? Like what made like the 80s so awesome and the early 90s was like
Rocky IV.
Well, movies like The Labyrinth. And like that movie might not have been like the best movie ever, but my point is like there was a time where Jim Henson's Creature Shop was used for like all these movies, and it added so much more. And just like having that kind of a practical effect, you know, versus what they're doing nowadays, just like everything's CGI. Like I wish we could kind of go back to the Jim Henson thing.
Right. I never saw The Labyrinth.
Never?
No. I own it. But I have not seen it yet.
You got to watch it. You've seen Rhinestone, but not Labyrinth.
It just goes to show our different paths in life.
But dude, you got to watch the Magic Dance. Like that's like the best song ever. And it's just the best ever.
So I always thought that, you know, from every like little snippet I've seen from The Labyrinth, it reminds me of, you know, the Michael Jackson thing from Disneyland.
Are you talking about Captain EO?
Captain EO. This looked like an hour and a half version of Captain EO.
Well, I mean, was Spielberg a part of that? I don't know if he was a part of. No, he wasn't a part of Labyrinth.
Are you sure?
I don't think he was. I think that was just a Jim Henson thing. It wouldn't surprise me if Jim Henson had a hand in Captain EO. Captain EO's the greatest thing ever, too, man. That chick in there just like over like acting like super hard. Like
the first time I saw Captain EO, I was older because the first time I ever went to Disneyland, they'd already replaced it with Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, and then several years ago, 10 years ago, I guess. They brought it back for that short period of time.
After Michael Jackson died.
I was kind of embarrassed because, you know, I'm not a dancer, right? You know, I don't.
But
I don't
you couldn't help yourself.
No, but like you don't have a choice. You have to because the seats like jiggle back and forth, and like the music's going on, and you're kind of doing this thing in your seat. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. Make it stop.
I'm pretty sure Michael Jackson did the same thing.
Making me dance,
right? And he did the same stuff like in oh God, what was that? Moonwalker. Or just like he turned into like a spaceship or something, you know?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that happened in Captain EO too, didn't it? Like
I don't know.
Turned into like some crazy like being or something.
I was just traumatized by the forced dancing. It was like unwanted touching.
I like how like dancing was what fought this evil chick off, and she was just like kind of floating in the air doing nothing.
Right.
They're all just fighting her, just, you know, getting down, you know.
Shooting rays out of their shoulders.
Right, dude? And she's just like and she had like the most like ridiculous like fingernail extension things.
Yeah.
Look at that. John said that he didn't have he didn't have cable unless it was free, but didn't have HBO. Do brain games between movies? I wouldn't know. I don't even know what that means.
Brain games between movies.
Do brain games between movies? Is that like an actual like you would do brain games between movies?
I don't know.
I don't know why there's a question mark on the end of that. I apologize.
I know that John was the only person I knew that had the power pad for the Nintendo.
Power pad, dude. Do you remember, speaking of cable and talking about power pad and like how crazy the 90s were? Do you remember there was a Sega channel and like there was something attached to your
okay, well, first of all, I'll tell you,
cable network that you could plug into your Sega and play different games over.
I knew that existed like much later, but I knew like one person that had a Sega. Like everybody I knew had a Nintendo. There was like the Sega kids that we didn't talk to, and then like all my friends.
Nintendo Sega does what Nintendo don't.
But I remember like sitting on the floor in John's bedroom cheating, playing track and field on Nintendo, but like using our hands to.
Yeah, dude, I remember doing that. I remember like doing the long jump, and he's just like, this is like the most ridiculous thing I ever saw in my life. Yeah, no, man. I miss those days. Like playing Bubble Bobble and stuff like that.
Bubble Bobble, yeah. I bet John remembers that. John, you remember cheating? Brian Cuban, what's happening, man?
Let's Dance was the video with SRV.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's Dance.
Geifling. I don't know what Geifling is. Lol, Geiflings. What is a Geifling, Brian Cuban? You got to help me here.
Somebody's been drinking.
Sorry, continue. You were saying something about John Contreras there. And
I was just asking John if he remembered cheating at track and field.
Oh, dude. Everybody did.
I thought we invented that.
Oh, you would do mental challenges to test your brain. Okay. I was just typing that. That's what John was saying. That's funny. Yep. Nope. The good old days. The good old days.
I'm not good.
Trying to think what else. Like, dude, I remember track and field having a bunch of stuff in it too that were like almost as impossible as trying to land on the aircraft carrier.
Yeah,
Top
like
Gun.
so the long jump thing that you had, the ski jump thing. Yeah, nobody ever landed that.
Yeah, there were just.
I
so
did
much.
land a plane in Top Gun once.
Really?
Once.
I feel like you're full of shit.
No, I was 37. But I did it.
And then I rage quit afterwards.
After 12 hours.
Because I didn't know what the hell
my
came
beard
after
had
this.
grown out this far. It was like Budweiser cans laying all over the place.
Kids are all scared of you. They're like, what's wrong with Dad?
Something's wrong with Dad.
I don't know what's happening. I appreciate that Brian keeps saying Geifling. Like, maybe if you say it some more without actually explaining it. Does that have something to do with Dark Crystal? Because I don't think I ever actually saw Dark Crystal.
I never saw Dark Crystal.
I think that was a huge flop for Jim Henson. Like, it was supposed to be like they're like kind of getting out of the kids.
I can't even think of, I know the name, but I can't think of what that is.
Dude, yeah, it's like has that like a, I don't know, they're just like weird looking. Let me see if I can pull up a picture. Dark Crystal.
Doesn't sound like something I was into.
I know Netflix just came out with a new Dark Crystal. Brian, if you could just type Geifling one more time. All right, Dark Crystal, dude. You'll totally see this cover, and you'll be like, "Oh, I remember that." I remember seeing it.
I remember. I remember
at the
that
video
guy.
store.
Yeah,
you know,
that guy with the big long nose thing. Yep, I remember that.
You know, like talking about video stores back in the day. Like, you remember going in and like going to. We didn't. Where I lived, we didn't have a Blockbuster at the time, but we had something called Mr. Movies, and then it turned to Minnesota Movies.
Yeah.
But like going in there and just seeing all the different covers.
Yeah, yeah.
And like my daughter's getting way into like horror movies, and like I've never ever been into horror movies, but that's the only way she'll watch a movie with me and Janelle,
Right.
is if it's horror. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh God, okay. So like she'll like watch all these movies where I'm like, I remember that goddamn cover. I don't want anything to do with that. Let's watch that.
Yeah, man, I loved going to the video store. We had we didn't have a Blockbuster out in here in AJ, but we had AJ Video.
No.
And you go in and like, you know, rent 3 tapes, and then you get like your VCR rental for free because we didn't have a VCR either. So
Yep, I remember that. I remember renting like Nintendo and Sega and all that stuff too.
Yeah, man, renting video games down there.
Yep.
What sucked about it is, well, you know, you get one video game. At least I'd get one video game, and then you'd spend your whole weekend like, you know, hating the video game that you rented.
Right? Oh, that was the worst. I remember getting like a Power Rangers game and just being like, it was like a rip-off of Mortal Kombat, and it wasn't good in the least bit. You being a kid that, you know, was around during the Power Rangers, the original OG Power Rangers, just like, this is gonna be awesome. This is terrible. Stuck with this thing all weekend. You can go outside and play.
I can tell you, yeah, right. The one that I used to rent like over and over again was Dr. Mario.
Oh, I like Dr. Mario.
That was a good one.
I like Tetris. So I mean,
love
very,
Tetris.
very similar.
Still love Tetris.
I don't think I'm any good at Dr. Mario.
No, I don't think I ever really figured out how that worked.
Right.
I just thought it was Tetris, but it's not. It's different.
Not. It's like way different. And then John said, how about the Power Glove for Nintendo?
Oh, dude, I wanted that thing so bad. You know why? Because it's so bad.
He said it only had one game you could play with it, and it was terrible.
Oh, was it that thing where you threw the ball, right?
Something like that, man. Like, it's trying
Super
to be
glove
VR.
ball. Super glove ball.
Super glove ball. You know what? Uh-oh. Having trouble playing this video. Hopefully everybody's still seeing this. Oh, no. Looks like it's still going, maybe. Oh, it is. Okay, cool. So just hopefully it's just Facebook kind of freaking out here.
I didn't know anybody that had the Power Glove. Unless
Okay.
John, did you have one, John? I can't remember if you had one or not. I don't think you did. At least you didn't whenever you invited me over. It's one of those things you kept hidden so Donnie Grubb wouldn't touch it.
Dude, okay, so here's what I remember. I remember back in the day, well, not even what I remember. I just remember like seeing something pretty recently where like there was a kid who's like in his 20s that like, you ever see that MKBHD fella who does a lot of reviews on new technology coming out, like different phones. Or,
I watch cooking and barbecue videos. That's my YouTube extent right there.
Well, this fella, he does all that. He checks out like all the new tech coming out, and he's huge, right? He's got this show where like he'll go and like find like vintage hardware and electronics and stuff that you'd probably be all about. And Sega Genesis was one of them. And he'd never played Sega Genesis prior to that. So he got it, and he's like, all right, let's plug this into my TV. And he tried plugging in, like, into his flat screen TV with the coax. And he's like, what the hell is this thing? Like he literally had zero idea, so they had to go and find like a CRT old school television.
Yeah.
And then they started playing it, and like he started bringing some other people that were like older than him, like a bunch of like comedians and stuff. And they're like, "Oh man, I love this!" And he's like, "I have no idea what this is." Like they'd be spouting off a bunch of games. Like, nope, no idea, never played it.
Wow. I knew one dude that had a Genesis when we were kids.
Yeah.
And he only had one game for it, which was X-Men, I think. Yeah, X-Men.
I remember that game being really hard.
I don't remember anything about it except for being Wolverine and just playing the first level. I was terrible at it.
That game was awesome. Lion King was awesome on Sega, and it sucked on Nintendo.
Yeah, I didn't have that one. Didn't even know that existed.
There was Mickey Mania. Mickey Mania was awesome.
We definitely have a different taste in games.
Streets of Rage, dude.
Streets of Rage, that was good.
Streets of Rage was fantastic. 1, 2, 3, and I think there was a fourth. Christy says Atari 2600. You guys always talk about that.
I know.
Did she find you one, or do you have one?
No, I have a couple actually. I have one that I've been saving for Christy's daughter, but I'm missing the power supply for it. So as soon as I come up with that,
can't you find those on eBay? Or is those
but
one of those elusive things?
They're expensive.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
What else? Well, look at John said he also got one. I'm assuming the Power Glove. Probably because it sucks, so the kids sold it to me. That's funny.
I can imagine, like, okay, so the Power Glove had like an actual controller on the wrist part, if I remember right, and then
it had a whole bunch of buttons. It wasn't even like
just
a standard
take the glove
one.
off and play it like a regular controller.
Brian says, "Little Geiflings," and then he said, "Geifling again." All right. Then AJ Video kicked ass. Jeff was the owner, ?
Oh, Troy remembers it.
And then Young Punks, Atari 2600.
Young Punks, I don't know what that is.
ColecoVision. I think it's not ColecoVision. What the heck is that?
That's ColecoVision.
ColecoVision, yep.
ColecoVision.
Okay, I see where you're going with that. So ColecoVision. I see where he's going with that now.
Coleco.
I just read that. ColecoVision. Like,
I
just
think
for the taste of it.
I think they made the first Pong game, I think.
ColecoVision did?
I mean, I know they made a Pong game. I don't have it, but I'd like to have it.
Did you ever get that table version of Pac-Man?
And
Pitfall and all that stuff?
No, we were supposed to do that, but 2020 happened.
Stupid 2020.
Yeah.
Gosh, ruins everything.
It does.
2020. Giant pain in the ass.
I loved that like tabletop Pac-Man game. That that reminds me of Pizza Hut.
Reminds me of Pizza Hut too. I'm trying to think of what else. There was another place like in Minnesota that had something very similar. It might have been Pizza Hut actually. So I'm pretty sure those were across the country there.
Yeah.
Pizza Hut.
One of them cool little hole in the wall Minnesota places called Pizza Hut.
I remember the phone number for it, dude. Like we had a commercial for that with a little jingle back in the day. It
really?
Was the number, and you could call this no matter where you were, and it would get you connected to the closest Pizza Hut to you. I don't know how it worked, but it was 4888888. They made the song was 4888888. Pizza Hut delivery is really great. Right?
I can see how that stuck. Nice.
But yeah, no, I remember that, and we ordered a shit ton of Pizza Hut.
Dude, there was nothing better than going into Pizza Hut, getting a personal pan pizza. Remember those personal pans?
I got those for
awesome.
I got those for reading like the Scholastic books.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
And you read a certain amount of books. You got to pick, and then you go in and you set that on top of the tabletop Pac-Man machine and like play Pac-Man and mow your
Pitfall,
your pan. I never played Pitfall on that.
Never played Pitfall. That's what I specifically remember is Pitfall.
I remember Pac-Man only. I remember Pitfall on Atari, but then I was always terrible. I'm still terrible at it. I have it now. I'm terrible.
Did you guys have Godfathers out here? Yes, we did have Godfathers, and they went out of business. When I was in high school, when they went out of business around 2002, I want to say.
When I was growing up, like out here, the place to be was and it's still open. Sourdough Pizza over
Where's
on
that?
Power in Maine.
Power in Maine.
Yeah, there used to be an AMC theater right there. I think it's a church now. Next to that big antique mall that's over there. Yeah, and then Sourdough was right next to the AMC theater. So I remember like my first like date, with a female was we went and saw Robin Hood.
Which one? The Kevin Costner one?
Kevin Costner Robin Hood.
Nice.
Yeah, and then everybody hung out at Sourdough next door.
Sourdough, man. Like, gosh, what's the other one that was huge? Not Valencia's, but gosh, there's another one in Mesa that's just awesome too, and I can't think of their name.
I don't know.
They've got like 3 locations. Oh, there's a few. I mean, that's us as Arizonans saying, "Oh, this is awesome pizza," and like anybody from New York's gonna be like, forget about it. So that's what they say.
Have you been? You've never been to Sourdough Pizza?
Nope.
It's still there. You need to go now. I don't know how they're staying in business over there, but they're still there.
Sinistar. Did you ever play Sinistar?
I don't think so.
It's an arcade game. Brian said it's really scary. What makes Sinistar really scary? Troy says, Sinistar. I remember that cube.
Sinistar. That's like, I can imagine like the big devil star coming up and like just flashing really bright.
Right. Well, that was Doom, man. I remember when Doom came out, like that scared the piss out of me. Like playing it now, it's almost comical. But back then, like if you had the lights off and just like listening to all the like heavy metal music that was converted into MIDI, you're just like like all the sound effects that they had, like that game. Whew, that was brutal.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I never had like computer games and stuff growing up. Like because I think the first computer I got, I was like 15, I want to say, and it was like a Tandy from '85.
Yeah. Well, I had a Tandy, I believe, is what we first had, and I think we had a Commodore with because that's all we ever had was computers when I was growing up, and I didn't get my first Sega Genesis or anything like that until after I graduated high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, mom and dad just weren't gonna. Like, the whole thing was that they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna get you one of those if you get straight A's, kid." I'm like, "No, it's impossible."
Actually, I had not a Commodore 64. I had a VIC 20.
Oh, you know what? You have one now too, don't you?
I do have one now. But I had
a Commodore.
Well, I don't have the Commodore anymore. That thing took a dump.
Oh, lame.
And I haven't replaced it yet. But I had a VIC 20, but I didn't know how to use it when I was a kid. I never even plugged it into the TV. I don't think. I just thought it was like a toy keyboard.
Yeah, YouTube it. Separate words.
Sinistar. YouTube it.
Maybe that's how he meant it, but I kind of doubt it. But maybe I can also see Donnie. I could see Brian doing that. YouTube it. I could see that. Bye, John. It was nice seeing you, buddy.
See you, cuz.
But oh man, I miss those days.
Me too, man.
I remember playing Wolfenstein 3D too. Like that was a huge deal because we had a 386. It might have even been a 286.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember when they numbered it like that? 286,
yeah, I
386, and 486.
I have a 486 now.
Yeah. So we had I think it was a 286, and it only did black and white, like the screen.
Well, it was green, right?
No, it was black and white.
Oh, okay.
And we played Wolfenstein 3D, and it didn't have a sound card. And I remember being like, okay, this game's kind of whatever. Mm-hmm. Played it a little bit. And then my dad got a sound card one night, and I'm just like, oh, my God. This is amazing. Like, to the point that, like, my dad was downstairs playing it, and I was supposed to be in bed, and I could, like, listen through our...
the air vents?
Air vents, and I could just hear it, and I'm like, that sounds so fun.
That sounds awesome.
I don't want to be sleeping right now. I want to be playing that game.
I didn't, I was later, getting into the old video games and stuff. I have Duke Nukem now.
Duke Nukem, which one? Like 3D. Straight up, okay.
Duke
have you ever
Nukem
played any of the ones prior to that where they were like a platformer?
That's the only one I have.
Dude, you need to play those ones back when they were Apogee.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and like Commander Keen.
Commander Keen, yeah, I remember that one.
Like, okay, Duke Nukem, very similar to Commander Keen.
Interesting.
Yeah, dude, you need to check that out. Like it was wacky. Like in that, like I played like Duke Nukem 1, 2. And I think it got the 3D, and I think there was another one in there too. But I played like all the Commander Keen games too. And I think the guys that made Doom were the same guys that made Commander Keen.
Oh, yeah.
I think they are because I'm pretty sure I remember in Doom 2 that there was a level where you go and you see Commander Keen being like hung by a noose, and you have to shoot him to get to the next room. Yeah, let's see here. Commander Keen. And that was Doom 2. Let's see if I can find it. See if I'm right.
Doom was on Nintendo, too.
It was.
Yeah, I remember.
I remember that being... Yeah, that was actually... No, I remember on Nintendo 64, and it was actually pretty cool because they kind of updated it. Nintendo 64. There you go. Oh, there it is.
Wow.
Yeah, you had to kill him. So yeah, that was well, he was already dead, but you had to hit him and blow him up or whatever. Yeah, I love that. Do you remember Web TV? I remember Web TV.
What is Web TV?
Oh my gosh, dude! So you had it was almost like a set top, just box, right?
Okay.
And then you had a keyboard that was wireless. It was wireless, right, Christy? I believe it was a wireless keyboard.
Isn't this in the 80s?
No, this is in the 90s, mid 90s, and like you could do your email and stuff like that, like on your TV screen. Like it was a big deal.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I totally remember that. That was and it failed miserably, but it was still kind of a cool idea. YouTube it. Love you guys. Head home. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye, Brian. Love you, buddy. That's so awesome. Well, Donnie, we've been on here for about an hour. I think we should probably talk a little bit about where we're playing at right now and what days that is, because
yeah, we are at AJ Sports Grill every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday and Saturday from 6 to 10 and Sunday 4 to 8. Every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yes. And if you like supporting us and like supporting local music and you like supporting, the little restaurants, I mean, when I say that, not like your big chains and all that, please come on out and hang with us. Like, it's totally helpful. Like, every little bit that you can do, we really appreciate it, and we really miss everybody's faces. So please, if you haven't come out and hung out with us yet, come on out. We're looking forward to hanging out. And we're looking forward to playing for you.
Absolutely.
Right, Donnie?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
100%.
Anything else that we should talk about before we get off this week?
I wasn't even planning on talking about what we talked about, so I have no idea.
Right? That was kind of a fun little tangent that we had there. No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. Sweet, man. Well, all right. Well, until next week, everybody have a wonderful time, and we will see you next time.
See you this weekend.
Bye.
Bye.